Where are you?
I'm Batman.
What up guys, it's Limitz. I have an intense 1v1 video against Diablo Soul here. He is playing Anders and I am playing the Arbiter on Barrens. And the Anders is really good on this map, but I'm going to give myself a slight advantage simply because the Arbiter has the Healing Spire in the middle. Needless to say, Diablo Soul is probably one of the best Anders and ones, if not the best. He's a little bit of an old school player. So a lot of people who are just kind of picking up Halo Wars might not know who he is, but he grinded 1v1 about a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, and had multiple accounts, front page, 47, 48, 49 true skill, and competitively he can basically beat everybody with his Anders, and from my experience, he's probably the best Anders that I've ran into. No disrespect to anybody else. It's just my personal opinion that I think Diablo plays his Anders a little bit tougher than everybody else. With that said, a lot of this game, what I'm going to have to be doing is I'm going to have to be fighting for those hook controls and making sure that I kind of control the middle of the map and I don't let the Anders control the middle of the map, because the focus in Barrens is all about that heal spire and the reactors, and since they're all next to each other, that's really the focus of the map. So you'll see that my strategy this game is basically going to revolve around that aspect, and putting a choke on the Anders is pretty much how I would describe it. With that said, a few things I want to talk Halo Wars related news, or my YouTube channel I guess. My intro, all credit needs to go to Zero Subset. I'm really appreciative that he took the time out of his day to make me a nice intro. I was having a conversation with him about superheroes and stuff like that, and told him how sweet it would be if I could have like a Batman theme and whatnot, or Dark Knight theme, and he went out of his way and he did that for me. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing with my YouTube channel, is kind of having a Batman theme. I think it'd be awesome. It's a lot of work though, because I have to correlate music and stuff like that into stuff. Also, there's a couple videos that I posted that I had to end up taking down. First video was the video where I showed that it is possible to do the infinite rage glitch with the Arbiter. I took that down because everybody was complaining that somebody would figure it out and it would break the game. To my knowledge, nobody has figured it out. I know from the video you cannot figure it out, but I took the video down just to satisfy everybody. So I know somebody re-uploaded that, and it's in really terrible quality. And once again, nobody's going to figure it out. Nobody has figured it out. So we're set there. I also made a tribute video for Mailbox. I put that on unlisted simply because I'm going to... It's a work in the progress. I'm going to do a tribute montage for all my 2v2 teammates, kind of in like a timeline aspect. So that'll probably be done at the later half of the year, because I'm really busy with school, so I'll probably put more work into that during the summer. Another thing is the tournament going on at HaloWarsLegion.com. I know a lot of you guys have been watching Mitch and Zero's videos and Kai's videos. I don't know how many people recently have been following Kai's, simply because he disappeared off the face of the earth for quite a while. Kai's has uploaded his tournament rounds. You can find those on iKai's. You can find Zero Subsets on his channel and Mitch's on his channel as well. Basically what's happened is round 1 is coming to a close. The deadline was actually yesterday or 2 days ago, depending when you look at it, because I know some teams were given an extended deadline time. Basically, round 1 was pretty successful. I think only 2 teams had to forfeit because they couldn't get their games played in. and one of the teams was just kind of like, I don't even think they knew that they were a team. So whatever. With that said, BH I'm Too Legit and we 3-0'd our first round against Hazard Fury and Call Me Overkill. I don't feel the need to upload all my tournament videos, especially with my uploading dates. I don't upload as frequently as other people, simply because I'm too busy with work, school, and by the time I get home it's super late at night that I'd rather play games than sit there and watch myself play games and talk about it. So I might upload one of my tournament games and summarize it. Basically, Too Legit and I played very vanilla. We didn't run the combos that we were going to run in later rounds because we don't want to give anybody an unfair advantage or scouting report of what we're going to do. So, the element of surprise, as always. With that said, we advanced to round 2 where we are going to be playing Mitch and Topher. So regardless, round 2, all my videos will be posted on Mitch's channel, I'm assuming. And I'll probably just post one of the videos and summarize it as well. Hopefully I can keep up with rounds and uploads in time, so I'm not giving you guys a round 1 when we're already into round 3 or 4. So we'll see how that goes. Back to the game here. As you can see, I'm just running back and forth, porting in jackals and fighting for hooks right now. Got the healing spire, and what I like to do on Barrens is take a base in the middle eventually, because as long as I can take a base in the middle, then it's a little bit easier. I can just recall and quickly get over to one side of the map, and that way I can somehow push up on offense every once in a while. But Diablo does a great job of just keeping his hogs hidden, just sending one warthog and pelicaning over flamethrowers, just being a real big nuisance, getting his techs, and I can't catch his hogs or put a gash in his hog numbers. So once he does get his tech and goss, I could actually be in trouble if he gets a surprise on my arbiter, I would say. Just blindsides me. So that's really what I need to look out for. And I'm going to go ahead and start taking this base. I can see that he did have a warthog over there, so once again I'm going to go try and catch it. And basically, since there's a warthog over there, I know that the pelican is bound to happen, so it's kind of forcing my card. I have to go over there, otherwise I'm going to lose the tech. Somehow always get stuck on the little flood bubbles on this map. That's one of my complaints about this map. Anyways, one thing that I did pick up that Diablo Soul likes to do on this map that is really frustrating and difficult for me to deal with is, since he's sending one warthog and pelicaning over flamethrowers to each hook, and I'm really preoccupied with that, it gives him the opportunity to take that base up in the north corner of the minimap, and there's nothing I can really do about that. I can go stop that base, but then he's going to have both the hooks, and so it's kind of just, I have to pick my poison. Let him get a few techs, or try and stop him from getting the techs and let him get a secondary base. I'm assuming that he's going to be going Goss, so there's really no point in me scouting, but it's more of a decision whether I want to go Banshees versus Hunters on this map. I know a lot of people think that Hunters are useless. They're actually pretty good in ones, and they're really good, especially on this map, because you can clog the middle with the Healing Spire with Hunters, and basically not let a UNSC cross that side of the map. The only option they'll have is flamethrowers, or they'll have to build air, and since you control the middle, you control the reactors, so Vampires is also really viable for any air threat, and you can transition quickly into Banshees if they go flamethrowers. So that's why the Arbiter is just really overpowered, because if you control the middle, you can really dictate how this game is going to work. So I did end up getting a Starberber and that's all nice and lovely. And what I opted to do this game was go Banshees. Banshees are great on this map because the ridges in the middle, it takes no time for Banshees to actually cross anywhere on the map. And what I'm going to push for is just a really teched Arbiter and full pop Banshees, and depending how long I can hold and maintain hooks is the tech that I can get on my Arbiter and my Banshees, and that's pretty much where I go from with that aspect. So even though I have been raging a lot of these flood bubbles and it's unnecessary for me to do so, I actually kind of enjoy doing it simply because my Arbiter will star up easier later on, and since there's a healing spire in the middle, I don't have to worry about building engineers or anything like that to slow me down. So I have just realized that Diablo does have that base over there. I'm going to go ahead and scout it out and see what progress that base is in. See if it's easily killable or not. And when I boost over, I saw a couple flamethrowers there. And it's already got 3 pads, which is not good for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his main base and see if he's already got Goss queued up. It looked like he's still on Grenadier. And I see that he does have an air pad. And if he's going air and Goss Hogs, it's not really... I just don't like building vampires and banshees together. I would rather prefer I had hunters with vampires, or I would have wraiths with vampires. That way I could clog the middle and be able to send my vamp somewhere safely to protect like my main base. But the whole air element aspect gives him the ability to go over to my main base, and I have to somehow go back over there and try and play defense, and the Goss can then take the opportunity to take over the middle, which I absolutely don't want. So I do end up focusing down the air pad, taking that out. I don't have to worry too much about vampires anymore, so I'm only going to build those 2. I can't really build anymore anyways because I lost the tech. So I'm going to work on getting the tech back, and I need to re-scout one more time and check out what exactly Diablo is doing. And this is pretty alarming. I see a whole bunch of Goss. I only have 6 Banshees, a Tech 2 Arby with a star. So this is where the game's going to get pretty intense. And I'll let you guys watch it from here on out, so take care.
Local unit.